Adobe just released this new feature in Illustrator that lets you rotate your 2D illustrations to create 3D views. So in this video, I'll show you how to use it to turn your illustrations into 3D animations. So this new feature is currently only available in Illustrator Beta. So to download this, go to your Creative Cloud, go to Apps, and then in the top here, make sure you've selected Beta Apps, and then you should see Illustrator Beta. Now I've already installed it, so I'm just going to open it up. And so here I've got an illustration that I want to convert to these 3D views. So to begin, go up to Window, and make sure you've selected Contextual Taskbar. Now select your illustration, and then select this new option here called Turntable. And now you should see this slider, which if we slide left and right, is going to rotate our illustration to all of these different angles. And so this does a really good job of maintaining the original details of our illustration, as well as generating new details at these new angles that you couldn't see previously. Now you can also select these arrows here to change the angle. So you can see it from below, or we can also see it from above. And what's super cool is this is still a live illustration, and so you can go in and make changes such as updating the colors or the stroke weight. And so we can also select this button here, and what this is going to do is place all the views on the canvas. So as you can see, we now have all of the frames of our illustration. And so I've just gone and added all of those new frames to an artboard. And what we're going to do next is export them so we can turn them into an animation. So I'm just going to select them, and they're going to be all grouped together. So we're just going to right click and select Ungroup. And I just want to export this middle row here. So we can go and delete these top frames and these bottom ones. And now each of these ones should be individual groups. So we should just be able to select them all. And then if we go up to Window and down to Asset Export, and here we're just going to select this little button here to generate multiple assets. And now as you can see, it's added all of those groups or the different angles as different assets for us to export. So I'm just going to change the format to PNG, and you can adjust the scale. So they're a little bit small, so I'm going to make sure they are around 4 times. And now we can go and export those. So once you've exported your illustrations, we're going to jump across to Adobe Photoshop. So in Photoshop, to open up our files, we're going to go up to File, and we're going to go down to Scripts, and then select Load Files into Stack. And here I've got my use set to Files, and we're just going to click Browse. Now find where you saved out all of your frames, select the first frame, and then scroll down and holding Shift, select the last frame, and we're just going to open. Press OK. And so what this is going to do now is open up all of our frames into a single artboard in Photoshop. So once it's done that, we're going to open up our Layers panel. And in here, again, I'm going to select the first frame, scroll down, and select the last frame, and we're just going to align these to center and vertical. So once you've done that, go up to Window, and we're going to open up the Timeline panel. In here, we want to create a new frame animation. So if Create Frame Animation isn't showing for you, just click this drop down here and change it from Create Video Timeline to Create Frame Animation. So select this, and now in the timeline, select this menu here, and we're going to select Make Frames from Layers. And so it's going to pull all our layers into the timeline. And so if we click this play button here, as you can see, it's creating this looping animation between our frames. Now, as you can see, it looks like one of our frames isn't in the right spot. So it looks like it's this first one here. So I'm just going to drag this across. And where's it go? Let's see how that looks. Yeah, so that looks a lot better. So now we've got this nice rotating animation. And if you want to change the speed of your animation, again, just select all of your frames and then click this drop down and you can choose a different speed. So once you're happy with it, what we're going to do is export it. So go up to File, down to Export and Save for Web. Now you can play around with the settings, but I'm just going to keep them as default and I'm going to click Save. And so that's how to create this 3D animation using the new Turntable feature in Adobe Illustrator.